The establishment of Ram Rajya or the rule of Lord Rama in modern India has been a cherished goal of millions and millions of Indians from the very beginning of the 20th century itself, if not earlier. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi, who is known as the father of the Indian nation, also vehemently subscribed to the supremacy and superiority of Lord Rama among all kings that Indian history and mythology has on record, and he also sincerely believed that things in independent India should be as ideal as they have been in Ram Rajya. That's why his most favored prayer was Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. And though he did not believe in communal differences or differences between sects and communities and religious groups, but still it can be justly said that the name and form of Lord Rama, who is traditionally regarded as the Supreme Lord or incarnation of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, was dearest to Gandhiji. Now, what does this Ram Rajya conceptually imply? For that, I have thought that it is best to share the ideas and ideals of Ram Rajya as put on record by Valmiki in his Ramayana. In the Valmiki Ramayana, towards the end of the sixth canto, we see the kingdom and rule of Lord Rama being described as follows. That day after day, Ram used to look after the activities of his kingdom along with his brothers himself. Why this himself is there in the original sloka, it is important because there are many kings who depute the activities of the king to other subsidiary lords and noblemen, and they don't look after the kingdom themselves. But Rama did not do that. So Valmiki says, Ahani ahani Ramastu karyani swayamevahi pratyavekshat dharmatma sah bhratribhirachyutah. Day after day, Rama himself looked after the activities of the kingdom along with his brother, and he is Achyutah, the infallible one. धर्मेण रक्षतस्तस्य हृष्टपुष्टजनाकुलः बभूव पृथिवीश्चैव धनधान्यसमृद्धिनी. All his subjects or citizens were protected by dharma, ethics, virtue. Religion won't be an exact equivalent, and they were very happy and prosperous. The entire world became full of all opulences and glories. Nityafalaha nityapushpaha staravastatra nirbranah kale varshati parjanyah sukhasparshascha maruta. There are trees bore fruit all the time because generally fruits are seasonal or were seasonal. These days, thanks to scientific advancements, this aspect of Ramarajya is back again, but with high costs. We can have any fruit at any part of the year. So nitya pushpa nitya falaha staravastatra nirbanaha. So see the concern for ecology in Valmiki, that the trees were without any disease in the kingdom of Ram. Kale varshati parajanya. There were timely rain from the clouds, neither too much nor too less. That is, neither flood nor drought people saw in the kingdom of Ram, and the air was always pleasant, not too hot or too humid, etc. etc. All the subjects or citizens lived for 100 of years and more, and Ram ruled his kingdom by eradicating all evils. Not only did the people live for hundreds of years, they had with them their children and grandchildren, and it was never a case that an old person has to do the funeral rites of a young one. So, आसीद् वर्षशतायुश्च पुत्रपौत्रादिभिर्युतः निरामयं विशोकश्च रामराज्यं प्रशासति. Also, it is said that nowhere, as I said, in the kingdom of Rama, never ever did any old person have to do the funeral rites of the younger ones. Na chapi vriddhabalanang priyatakaryani kurvate. And then I'm coming to the pledge taken by Rama, which is very interesting because it is in the sixth canto, but desertion of Sita takes place in the seventh canto. And Ram says that if I have to forsake my love, sympathy, you know, my friendship, and even my dearest Sita, for the pleasure and for the well being of my citizens, I'll do it smilingly. So he says, Nehang dayang cha sokhyang cha yadiva janakimapi aradhanaya lokasya munchato nastime vyatha, that if I have to leave all this, my friendship, my pleasure, even my dearest Sita, for the sake of the well being of people, I won't have the slightest of pains. So here Rama emerges as the figure of a Sthita Prajna, the idea of which is given later in the Gita, that is, the one who is neither perturbed by sadness nor elated by happiness, remains in a state of balance all the while, like the Stoics of the Greek philosophy. So in Rama, we get that figure, or we see that figure. You know, this Gita describes this state as Dukheshvanudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spriha vitaraga bhaya krodha brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. That, as I have already explained, equanimity during pleasure and pain. That is why Goswami Tulsidas ji, in his hymn to Ram, has sung it in this manner: Prasannatang yanagatabhisheka stathanamamlo vanavasa dukkhatah मुखाम्बुज श्री रघुनंदनस्य मे सदास्तु सानमजुलमंगलप्रदा. That face of Ram, which was neither elated with happiness when he was to be coronated for the kingdom, nor did it become unhappy when he was to go to the forest, that may protect us from all evil and give us peace and bliss everlasting. Thank you so much. Dedicated to Lord Ramu, his devotees, and all the good souls of the world. Please read the Ramayana.